There were two ways Tottenham manipulated United's hexagon press formation. Let's go through how they did it. Starting with the inverted wingers, usually Rashford and Garnacho would be further up the field to create the hexagon, but the positioning of Maddison and Porro has pinned them back, exposing these areas. Despite Fernandes shadow marking the ball into Bentancur, he just moves into the space to get onto the ball. This isn't the best position, but with no pressure on the ball and a high line, Tottenham get behind us. In this situation, Garnacho is pulled out wide due to the positioning of Maddison, which opens the path into a doggy. And finally, we can see how the wide overload pulled Rashford and Garnacho out, which opened the path into the pockets Tottenham's front line were dropping into. These tactics did a great job at stretching United across the field, taking their compactness out of the hexagon. Moving on to how Tottenham pinned one of United's double pivot to free up Bentancur. This overload is a difficult situation for Fernandes and Xerxes, but you have to play percentages, and with Xerxes engaging the ball, Fernandes has to drop in on Bentancur. He does nothing, and Romero gets the ball into Bentancur. But how did Tottenham create that overload? As we run this move on, we can see how the inversion of Udogie stopped Ugarte stepping up onto Bentancur, and it was these top-line overloads that stopped United's double pivot sweeping behind United's top-line defence. We have the same overload. When the ball goes wide, Udogie had only just inverted, but Ugarte couldn't step up onto Bentancur because of Tottenham's wide overload of Maddison and Werner off screen. Porro and Kulusevski have rotated, so it's Kulusevski that is causing Mainu the problem that Udogie was causing Ugarte. Mainu chooses to step up onto Bentancur, leaving Kulusevski in space, but he forces Bentancur back and Tottenham couldn't get the ball into Kulusevski. I'm not saying Mainu was right and Ugarte was wrong, but the positional play of Tottenham was forcing United's players to constantly make decisions. Now we can criticise Ten Hag for tactics, but he can't do anything about this rubbish. United's top-line defence was appalling. The ball goes back to Vicario, and all United need to do is get set. But Fernandes is just walking, not even looking at the ball, pointing to someone else instead of focusing on his job, and Xerxes also has his back to play. No one is shadow marking the ball into Maddison, and it's an easy ball in, and United's top line has been beaten way too easy. In this example, in my opinion, Ugarte is miles off. With Udogie wide, he can push up onto Bentancur, which would allow Xerxes to push out to Van de Ven. But this is pathetic from Fernandes and Xerxes. Fernandes tiptoes over to Romero, no pressure on the ball, and with Ugarte not pushing up, Xerxes should have dropped back on Bentancur, but it's another easy get out. In this example, Fernandes' attempt to press Romero is pathetic, and Romero gets past him way too easy, and Tottenham play through us again. Xerxes this time needs to get across to squeeze Tottenham to the touchline. It's another poor press attempt, and that's a great ball from Romero to Kulusevski. You know I'm not a Ten Hag fan and said he should have been sacked last season, but a number of these players are chucking him under the bus. Certain players are getting found out, and the manager getting sacked gives them a clean slate with a new manager. The Devil's verdict is, Ten Hag is a clone of Oli. Once the game kicks off, if their tactics don't work, they completely lack the ability to alter the flow of the game with a change of tactics or substitutions. Ten Hag is a dead man walking, and it's only a matter of time. But if I was the owner of United, I wouldn't sack Ten Hag until we are out of all the cup competitions. The main argument for him to stay was that he won 2 minor cups. If that is the benchmark for United, then he stays. There can be no complaints from the shouters and screamers. They wanted the cup side, and that's what they got. And if he wins another minor trophy, he stays next season. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.